All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome to another real estate wholesaling live analysis. My name is Elton, like Elton John. Welcome to another episode. I think this is our episode number 39 on the live wholesaling analysis, where we look at some properties on market and see if there's some deals out there that are available on market, because there are some deals out there. And if you happen to have like a deal that is off market or a property that you want to get analyzed, by all means, you can drop the address in the chat and we can go through it together if you happen to have like any further details on it. Other than that, when we do some, if you happen to be new here, we do go through a quick presentation, really quick about real estate wholesaling. Then we go over through the real estate wholesaling analysis, depending on what kind of property we end up finding and the information that it gives us. It will be either like a fix and flip or a buy and hold. We'll determine it. We do pick like a random market, so that way it always gets spread out to determine the markets that are illegal in terms of like wholesaling or just like very strict in terms of like wholesaling. But again, if you happen to have an address, so we can definitely love to check that out. Of course, afterwards, we're gonna go through like a quick Q&A if there's any questions specifically to the process of real estate wholesaling or just anything that you feel like you're stuck on. And also afterwards, there's could be a network event where there's could be a breakout room where you're able to network with one another. Other than that, this series gets repeated every Sunday and Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So with that being said, let's just jump into the presentation really quick. So first things first is when it comes to real estate wholesaling is it takes like a few steps for it to get processed through thoroughly. It's a pretty simple process, though it does have its challenges along the way. The biggest one is just getting properties constantly on your side, because you either have to do inbound marketing or outbound marketing. But if you stay consistent, persistent, and then you're doing it a very constantly, then the results will definitely come in sooner. The main process that we focus on this series is mainly about the going over the numbers of the analysis side in terms of like what's an allowable offer and what kind of repairs you should be estimating as well too, if you like to estimate repairs to your end buyers. Because when it comes to end buyers, the very first foundation they like to talk about is always the ARV, or what the potential is on a specific property. So usually the ARV stands for after repair value, and after repair value, it basically just says the word what the property is worth once it gets fully repaired. This is applied to both buying, holding, and fixing and flipping. So they just always would like to know what the market is on that specific area. Now, the following steps after each on how each buyer calculates their numbers and their due diligence, that is really essential for you to find out on how a lot of buyers calculate their stuff, because not all buyers buy the same and calculate the same. So it is essentially for you to find out, well, how is it exactly that they do their numbers. And it's always really good to find out beforehand before you start looking for properties. You don't want to just randomize it out there and always be in terms of hopes. Like, I hope I can find a property, and once I have a property, I hope I can find like a buyer. It is really good to have um all those steps already set in stone before you start looking for properties. That way it makes it easier for you to like specific pick, especially if you happen to be working with agents. When you work with working with agents that have like a lot of fix and flip deals, you can easily give them exactly what you're looking for, or okay, what your buyers are looking for, and it will make it extremely helpful for them to send you that specific information rather than send you anything and everything. So again, all the strategies vary depending on how far in you are in terms of like real estate wholesaling, and what kind of action you've taken, and what kind of processes you're building for your real estate wholesaling business. Next, the second foundation, a lot of investors will always want to know is, of course, repairs. Repairs are just estimates. They can go plus, they could go minus. And so at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. But just to give you like an insight, I like to stick to like average repairs. I don't like to dwell specifically a lot on repairs because, again, like I just said, repairs are really a plus or minus game. And with that plus or minus game, when it comes to those repairs, it's really up to the end buyer. What kind of materials they want to use, or what kind of contractors they already have, and how quickly do those contractors work, to that way they can get the property back again on the market, so that way it can get flipped all over again at a fully updated condition. But when we're looking at these repairs, I like to stick to these average numbers over here. When we look at these repairs, average numbers are going to be light repairs are 10 to $20 per square foot. These are going to be more on very light repairs, very minimal stuff, or these are going to be more like multifamily type of properties that just need like a quick update. Sometimes at times you are going to come with single family homes that do require some type of minimal updates as well too, or it can be just a color scheme or just spray painting something. It's a really minimal stuff that you're going to be needing, but it does make a big difference as well too on the environment it brings over, as well too. Now looking to like the average repairs, these are the numbers that a lot of fix and flippers are going to be doing too. Looking Overall, it's $25 to $40 per square foot on these average repairs, and these are going to be more on the project areas. These project areas are going to be like the kitchen, the bathroom, bedrooms, floor, um, walls, paint, windows, doors. It's pretty much gonna, and a few extra things like a roof, maybe utilities, maybe landscape as well too. So it's gonna take again, it's gonna be a project type of property, where if you're trying to wholesale off-market properties from agents, then it's you have to let them know that you're looking for project type of properties if they happen to be working or have get a lot of those type of properties on their hands from time to time. Now looking at the gut job repairs are going to be pretty much either strip down everything or demolish the entire property. It depends on the location of the property as well too, how many levels it has. But these gut job repairs are pretty good, are going to be very hefty. Not only are going to be hefty, but also additionally there could be like a bigger issues as well too, like maybe foundational issues if anything, maybe collapsing issues already in place as well too. Also piping as well too, depending on how old the property pipe entrances of piping it is. But overall, this is going to take a lot of major repairs overall, on these type of gut job repairs. And looking overall at all at the numbers, if you happen to be like in expensive cities or states, I would always recommend to add like 15 to like $20 more per square foot on those on these average repairs, just because those states or cities again are more expensive than anywhere else. These average numbers are nationwide, but again, excluding some of those expensive cities or states whatsoever. Now, when we're looking for the ARV, or aka looking for like your market potential in your neighborhood, or looking for the comps for your property, we definitely want to start looking for comps or comparables or similar homes to your subject property. And when you're looking at those, you definitely want to look into the square footage. First things first, make sure you're looking at properties that are similar to your home, but also you'll have some wiggle room, and that wiggle room is going to be plus or minus 300. When you start comparing lot sizes, like a quarter of a lot, half a lot, one, two, three, 10 lots, then that's when you want to start applying some lot sizes into it. And again, stick to comparing apples to apples. So make sure you're comparing lots to lots as well too, so that we can get an understanding how much a lot of those lots are going, if they have depending on the type of area that you're looking into as well too. Looking into comps, or looking at similar properties, you want to stick to like a radius. That radius is between a half mile to a 1 mile radius. And the reason why is because that's how neighborhoods are set up. And usually within neighborhoods, there's going to be like major roads, or AKA what I like to call do not cross double yellow line roads. Those double yellow line roads are basically like barriers to like those neighborhoods where they split one neighborhood to the other neighborhood. And usually they're going to be very close to neighborhoods. So, but if you definitely want to extend outside of that neighborhood, then now you're playing a term of like distance versus price. So the closer the property is, the price is going to be more accurate. The further you start getting away from the property or your subject property, then the price you have to start making some adjustments on that price as well too. So there's some consequences the further you start going out from that radius or that neighborhood where your subject property is. Next is definitely look at the years. Make sure you're not comparing a 2024 brand new built home to a 1960s home, because the materials, the labor, the laws, everything is pretty much very different from one another. Um, so again, you want to compare apples to apples, not apples to oranges. And looking into the comps, or when you're trying to find some comps, it's really necessary for you to find at least 3 to 5 comparables. And this could be a mix um, of the 3 different time frames. The 3 different time frames are going to be sold. So what has happened in the past, or maybe they recently sold, like maybe like within the last 3 months or a month or a week. Next is looking at what's under contract. So this is telling what's under contract at the moment is telling you what's actually happening right now with a lot of properties. And what's available or what's still for sale is basically what the future holds, or what the market will determine on that property, if it ever sells or if it sells quick. And so those are going to be 3 different time frames to always look at to look for comps, because you don't want to just look at sold. You want to look at what's happening right now, aka what's pending right now, and so that we can understand how the market is reacting right now, overall in that specific area, specific city, specific county, specific state as well too. So all those factors you can definitely apply into those time frames. And of course, what's available is what's to come, because we don't know when things are going to be selling on what's available at the moment. Um, so with that being said, we're gonna go through like a quick breakdown of what makes like a deal work for like an investor, so that we can understand what an investor will look like in will think about what makes like a deal for them work. And of course, we are going to be using a few tools, some of the tools that I built that are available on my website, and additionally some tools that are available out there for free, like Redfin, Zillow, Realtor, PropWire, as well too. So with that being said, let's just jump right into this. So this is going to be the investor strategy right over here. With the investor strategy, this is going to give you like an insight of how an investor is going to be thinking, like in terms of like the process. So first things first, let me look for this. Oh, give me a second, this where I can see it. Okay, cool. Awesome. Here we go. So this is going to be the investor strategy. So with the investor strategy, basically, we want to understand like what makes sense to like an investor, and help them break down the deal as well too. And what I mean by that is like what's going to help them in terms of understand like where they're limited to like making an offer, or how much they're willing to like spend overall in terms of like any single project. And what that will look like, it will be like this. So first things first, we got to look for a property, or aka you're the wholesaler, so you're looking for a property, and you came across a property where a seller is interested in selling their property. They're really motivated, and they want to get $764,000 for their property. They don't have, that's what they want to walk away with. They just don't want to deal with it anymore. But they're really motivated. That's the key thing. They're really motivated. Two, you want to understand what the property's condition is. If you happen to be locally, get an understanding, go in person. If you're not locally, try to get like a picture, or try to get like a virtual tour from the seller directly, so that way you can understand like what's going on with it. Like if you had 60, $80,000 available right now, like Mr. Seller, what would you do to like the property? What kind of updates would you do to it whatsoever? What kind of Oh, what happened? What kind of repairs do you think it needs, or what kind of repairs would you do to the property yourself, Mr. Seller? So get an understanding from their perspective as well too. If you're looking at a deal like inside your market, you should know what your market ARV should be. If you guys don't know how to find the potential ARV, I'm gonna show you guys a little hack on how to find that in a matter of seconds. And we're gonna do that with the random market, a market that I've never been to. So you guys go to see how that works. Um, because all that data is available for you guys out there. But the way this is going to work is you already know the ARV. So we have a price. Cool. We know the motivation. Awesome. We know that the property needs roughly $80,000 worth of repairs. Just if you happen to look at the picture, get like understanding from the seller directly as well too. It could be a plus or minus game on those repairs. Remember that. And of course, we already know the ARV for our area. So overall, those are three key components that we have to understand. Now, where our offer should be applied into this deal, this is how we have to break it down. So the way it goes is you have to multiply sorry, you have to subtract the 875 ARV minus the repairs. Not all buyers do it like this. All buyers are going to do it very, very differently. So just be aware. Subtract those two. It's going to give you like a new ARV number. And then that new ARV number, you want to multiply by 70%. And what 70% concludes of? It concludes of two things. One being profit, and then two being closing costs. So if you want to make that incentive to your seller, that hey, Mr. Seller or Miss Seller, we're willing to pay your closing costs. So that way, what our offer that our cash offer that we're bringing over to you, it's basically what you're walking away with. There's no other fees unless there's some liens that you have on the property. Let us know. We might be able to take care of that. If not, then yeah, you have to take care of that on your side. But we want to make sure that the property is pretty much in a great condition in terms of like the title, and then there's no liens upon it. And maybe if you have like a mortgage as well too, you have to take care of that on your side. But that's basically how much that's what the 70% pretty much stands for. Now, our offer as an investor, this is where our offer is going to be in terms of for this specific deal. Again, it's just an imaginary deal, but that's where the offer will be because we multiply then that new ARV times 70%, and it's going to give us $556,500. That is the maximum allowable offer to our investor, that our investor analyzes like that in terms of like numbers. Now looking into it, you happen to make them understand. They really understand. They really don't want to deal with the property or whatsoever. So the next thing is get the property under contract, which is going to be step number 4. Once you get the property under contract, you got under contract at a reasonable offer, really close to what the investor's maximum allowable offer will be. Now, what you're going to be doing is basically doing a contract of assignment or assignment of contract sale. And what that's going to look like is basically now you're pitching this off-market property because you're working directly with the seller. You're pitching this off-market property to sell for $570,000. It's really up to you how much you want to get out of it. But it really has to make it a deal for the investor. At this point, it's just a $20,000 wholesale fee for this perspective. And the way it's going to look like for an investor, the investor is going to be paying a few things. So the investor, you told the seller that, hey, we're willing to take care of your closing costs. So that way, again, our offer is basically what you're walking away with. We can close quickly. There's no commissions. There's no closing costs. There's pretty much our offer that we're bringing over to the table is basically what you're going to be getting deposited, either a cash check or a direct deposit to your account from the title company. So, but from the investor perspective, we have to sum up a few things. Remember, this is the investor's perspective. So the investor is going to be paying the 570. They want to take over the deal, so they like it. They're okay with paying like the closing costs as well too. They have to pay their closing costs and the seller's closing costs, so they have to take care of that, plus the repairs. So the total initial investment for this investor is basically $705,000. $705,000, and we know what the ARV on our market is, which is 875. We have to make some numbers work, and let's see if that makes sense. So 875 ARV, The investor still has to get the property on market. If they happen to be an agent, it makes it easier for them so they can cut this fee. But if they have like an agent they like to work with because the agent can sell the property really quick, then by all means, then that's could be a whole different game changer. So they have to take care of that. Then, of course, the new closing costs for the new buyer. So their profit is going to be $796,250. But in all reality, that's not really their profit. Their profit, we have to subtract what they initially started with, and they initially started with $705,000. So we subtract those two together, that's going to give us the actual profit, which is going to be $91,250, which it turns out to be at 11.48% profit. Earlier, we were looking into it, that it was going to be a 20% profit at $159,000. But it didn't turn out to be that. It turned out to be $91,250. Because again, there's the closing costs that we told the investor that they have to pay. Of course, our wholesale fee and additionally the repairs, which is going to be very common to add into their initial investment. But overall, that's going to be a realistic investment on a fix and flip type of deal whatsoever. So hopefully I was able to give you guys like a perspective on how some investors do their process. So now let me pull this up. Let me share this screen or this side over here. Awesome. Desktop one. Let's minimize that. So let's go through our CRM. We're gonna go through a market, any random market. So these are previous ones that we've done. I think this was like Springfield. Springfield Homes. Okay, cool. Yes. But now we're gonna be doing going over here and let's do a random city picker. Let's see what we're able to get. And we have Rancho Cucamonga, California. Okay, so California, let's head over to Rancho Cucamonga. Where's it at? Where's it at? All right, cool. So let's go through Rancho Cucamonga. Rancho Cucamonga, California. I don't know if is this Orange County? I think it might be. Okay, but all right, so this is going to be the CRM that I like to use for like analyzing my markets. So let's go through here. Let's type in Rancho Cucamonga, California. That's going to be our market. Next is on Zillow, and then I was mentioning earlier how to find the ARV for your properties or for any market whatsoever, whatever it is that you're looking into. Oh, look, there's Mount Bandy over there. Baldy or Bandy? I don't know, but it's just one property all the way up there in the mountains. It's crazy. But looking into this, especially looking at a specific city, if you have like specific cities, what I like to do is scroll, plus through all of this, and right here we have all these explore nearby and average home values. This is basically the information that I need. This is Zillow is already doing the homework for me and letting me know like how much a property is selling for in this specific area, in this specific city. Redfin is starting to do a little bit, Realtor, not so much whatsoever. But basically, I like to collect this information because this is really helpful information for um, me to make a decision on where I should be looking for, how much I should be looking for properties in terms of like pricing and or where to find some deals. So I'm gonna collect all this. I'm gonna copy all this information, go to my CRM, head over to my first row over here, and then I'm gonna paste this. Let's do values and paste it, and bam, there we go. We have all of our cities. Rancho Cucamonga, it's this one right over here. So I'm gonna be looking specifically for this one because this is where our random city picker came from, and it looks like a lot of properties sell for $778,237 right now at the current market. Um, and this changes every month, every 3 months as well too. So it's really good to like keep it updating it every so often, and you get to see like our prices going up, our prices going down, and especially when you have like the previous data as well too, it's really going to be very helpful to know when is the last time that you added it, and then, like, you can see the difference of what's happening with the market as well too. Of course, right now, we're gonna be looking at this. So this is depending on the strategy. Let's say I'm looking for a lot of fixing and flipping opportunities, or if I'm looking for a lot of buy and hold, you select the role, and the numbers on the right side are gonna be potential offers. This is just it's just the investor strategy. There's no discounts. There's no additional repairs or any other discounts. It's literally just multiplying by 70%, and that's what gives me that potential offer. So I got to be looking for properties that are worth less than this. So if the properties are selling for 778, I got to look for properties less than $545,000 in Rancho Cucamonga. And that's what I'm going to be doing right now. I'm going to be setting those filters. Let me look for some single family, and you never know. I can possibly find a multifamily as well too. And additionally, let's go through the pricing. And our pricing was 545. So yeah, 545, 3, bam, $545,000. And there you go. I easily found three potential project properties that are less than $545,000. The only thing that I have to do is confirm, and I'm seeing some of these being like a cabin, and I don't like that. When I'm looking at properties, I always like to look for properties more than 1,000 square feet. So honestly, I only have one property at this price right now. Maybe if I change the strategy from being a fix and flip to a buy and hold, I'm able to push it to like $623,000. But let's see, let me push it out to like 623, because maybe, like I said, maybe a lot of these properties over here could be great opportunities for buying and holding. And it looks like no, there's no a lot of buying and holding. So it looks like a lot of properties over here are very expensive. But let's check it out. What's going on with this one? If it happens to be like a deal whatsoever. If not, we'll look at the surrounding areas. So first things first, it looks like it's listed with an agent. I think this is an HOA property. Yes, it is. HOA 375 per month. Okay. All right. Looks like we can do some painting in here as well, really quick. So this looks very rough, very roughly like a light repairs type of property. Sink looks pretty good. I don't know what you're supposed to store out there. Does it have a dishwasher? That does have a dishwasher, microwave, stove. Awesome. Fridge. Um, Maybe these cabinets can move up to like that fridge. And it looks like there's like a gap or something right there on that side as well too. Um, Let me adjust some of these hardware. Okay, yeah, this looks like it's very light repairs, like paint, flooring. It's really great in shape, and just do like some extra touches as well too. Again, it is HOA, so I can't really do anything outside in terms of landscaping. It does have a pool publicly for everybody, so that's really cool. So, but this looks like very light repairs type of property. The only thing I forgot to do is I pull up my calculator. If you want to have access to the calculators that I'm using, it's at eltonvargas.com, and head over to the calculators section. And then this is what I'm trying to do right here. So let me calculate some numbers. So this is going to be a fix and flip type of property. It's listed at 510. $510,000. Awesome. The square footage is 1037. There is a HOA in place as well too, but let's go through it. There's no basement here in California. I'm going to pay the seller's closing costs as well too. So my potential first offer is going to be 357 if I'm trying to like fix and flip this deal. Again, I still need to get like a discount out of it. But it does need very light stuff, but it's here in California, so even light stuff it's very expensive because light repairs are gonna be $10 to $20. But because it's California, in all reality, it's actually like $30. So easily like $30,000 to like get this out there as quickly as possible. Again, just very paint touches and a few extra things that I can do with those $30,000. Maybe less, honestly. Like I'll say like $25,000 for these repairs. Just very minimal stuff. And I still want to get, because it's going to be very quick, I still want to get like a good deal out of it. So maybe 15% out of it. Going back to my market, how much can property sell for? 778. So yeah, I think I can make my 20% profit out of this if the property can sell for 778. So that's the thing now that I have to do is I have to check it out to see if There's property selling for 778 in this area. So let me look for properties over here. Let me take away the price, the asking price, and let me start filtering down to the square footage. So my subject property is 1037. So I'm gonna go up 300 and then go down 300. So the square footage is going to be 750 all the way up to 13 or 1250 because there's no 13. Awesome. And look at that. Now I'm able to like identify some of these local properties. I got a 725 property over here at 1270, 1241 square foot. Let me refresh this. It looks like it's delaying a little bit, but Safari can't open. What do you mean? You better open. All right, here we go. So we have this other project, property, no HOA. There's no internal pictures. But let's see what the description says. Is it updated? Charming, full hills, perfect, comfort, convenience, modern, spacious, provides residence script. So no, not updated whatsoever. Okay, and that's about it. That's all there is there. So let me look what's under contract and see if there's anything. Oh, we got a few of them. We have this one right here. This property is 1173, 3 bedroom, 2 bath. How much? Okay, there's 2 bedroom, 2 bath. This is selling. This is under contract enough for 650. So this is giving you a perspective of what to do. And this one isn't also HOA. Okay, cool. That is really good. So 650. Again, I don't know how much is it under contract at the moment, but I'm gonna put it in 650 for right now. Um, and from here, if you guys can look at the pictures, you can see it's like a little bit staged as well too, or maybe these are the homeowners, if anything. But great floor, great paint, kitchen, sink, bathroom as well too. So again, this is like bringing up like the status of it for like our subject property, and then this is under contract for 650, and then this one is another 3 bedroom, 2 bath. Looks like this is this staged or not staged? No, this doesn't look like it's staged. This looks like it's a homeowner as well too. Okay. Bathroom flooring, painting, paint. It's like all over the place because there's like different color paints, but pretty much same conditioning. And this one's a little bit bigger as well too, 1240. What was this one? 1173. So 650, 685. So this is under contract right now. 554. I'm looking at the square footage, price per square foot. So I'm gonna put 554 so I can get a perspective of how much I can sell my property if I were to do like maybe a little bit more on the updates as well too. So that's under contract. And then there's this one as well too. This one that has no HOA, and this is at 552. Awesome. So that's pending on the contract right now. This is what's available over here, as well too. What about this one? This one price cut, really great condition as well too. A little bit, still kind of a little bit outdated, but let's go through sold. I want to see what has sold, and I want to look at what has sold in the last 6 to 9 months. So let me start first with the 6 months. And okay, oh, we got a few, we got some gold over here, 730. This sold in March, so just recently, 730. Let me get the price per square foot. So 730 divided by 1240. So that puts it at 588. Okay, so it's great shape home, great condition, updated as well too. Did it have HOA? Oh, it didn't mention that. Let's see. HOA, HOA, HOA. Let me go through the see more facts. You see, it should say it over here. Uh, no, it doesn't say anything about HOA. No HOA, actually. What about this one? This is a 1092 square foot home, sold in February. No internal pictures. Okay, that's fine. Let's go on with this one, 3 bedroom, 2 bath. Okay, this one sold recently as well too, November. Okay, 655 for this one, 1151. 3 bedroom, 2 bath. I'm seeing a lot of 3 bedroom, 2 bath. So I'm not sure if that's something that will have to get adjusted as well too. And this sold for 655 divided by 1151. So 569. So 569. But again, all over the properties that I did came across are selling for they are selling for with a 3 bedroom, 2 bath. So that's the only thing that I do have to consider. And it looks like when I average all of these price per square foot and multiply by the square footage of my property, looks like I can sell my property for like 578, maybe like $600,000 if I'm able to like push it. Because I'm seeing $600,000 property. So I'm not seeing anything really close to like 500s. So let's see what's the lowest sold property like right here. It's like that 614. This one that didn't have a lot of pictures. So 639. So when I average all of these up, even just like on the price overall as well too. Let's see. So 639, 614, 730, 655, 790, 700. 690, 660. Yeah, that's about it. So 3, 6, 7, 8 divided by 8. So it looks like, yeah, I can definitely push it to like the 600s. So I'll say like 630. How much is the property selling for one more time? 510. But I still need to do some repairs as well too on the property. So let's push it to like the lowest. What was the lowest price? Six. I'm gonna push it to like 630. 630. 630. Awesome. So 630, if I want to fix and flip it on this project, and then again, I'm spending around $25,000 worth of repairs for this property. Um, and then my offer has to be kind of low, has to be like on the 420s, which is it's a discount from what the property is, but it's a cash offer as well too. So uh 17 to like 90% discount from what the property is currently asking for. How long has it been sitting on the market for? 9 days. So still very fresh, not too bad. But basically, I'm kind of pushing the ARV like a little bit as well too, because I'm getting all these properties. I got like a mix of all of these. This is like a lot of them that I'm coming across are like 1240 square feet. So they're a little bit bigger. Um, but all of them are in great shape. I'm seeing, yeah, it's just all of them for some reason are like 1240s. I'm not sure. Are all these new built homes? That's the only thing I did not look at. No, 1960, 1240s. It's like 1240, 1240, 1240. Those are all this sold in December. What was the condition of this one? This sold for 690. 3 bedroom, 2 bath as well too. So yeah, I can definitely push this to like the mid 630s. Probably push it a little bit even more as well too by the time it gets fixed up. So getting on the contract for like 400 to like 415, it's definitely more than reasonable, especially being like a cash offer as well too, willing to pay like all the closing costs, do the repairs on this as well too. But let's how much what kind of profit we're looking? Like a quick $90,000 profit, maybe a little bit less. I'll say like $80,000, 80 to like $96,000 profit if we wanted to like push on the materials and the updating and everything as well too. So instead of considering it like like a light repair type of property, we start like updating like a lot of it for this property, then by all means we're definitely pushing towards like 25 to like $40 per square foot, which in all reality turns out to be like 45. So if I spend a little bit more, that's definitely going to be pushing my price point, which is still not bad. It's still like in the 400s. So it's really, really not bad whatsoever. That's pushing, getting like a 20-25% discount for this deal. That's what we're looking for. Again, a lot of the outside, well, we won't be able to do a lot of outside because it's HOA. So a lot of HOAs have regulations in terms of that. But this is perfectly It is perfectly priced, honestly. It's a good spot. It's just bringing that offer in. It's going to be a cash offer. So that's the analysis right there. And a lot of the properties in the area are selling it, but a lot of the properties that are selling are 3 bedroom, 2 bath. So that's the only thing that I do have to consider. And all of them are really close to like 1240 in terms of like the square footage. So hopefully that's able to give you guys like an insight on how to like analyze some of these deals. So if I'm gonna leave it open for some Q&A if you happen to be there happen to be some questions, but other than that, that's pretty much it. If you guys want to unmute yourselves, you're able to unmute yourselves. So if you want to drop your questions in the chat, you're able to drop your questions in the chat. But any questions you guys have, just go ahead and drop your questions. No questions? Okay. Then how many people are? Oh, okay. Well, since a lot of you are not here, then it's perfectly fine. Then what I'll do is that's gonna be pretty much a wrap for today's live analysis. If you guys have any other questions, you can always reach out to me on Meetup, or if not, attend our next event on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you have any questions along the way or get any deals or have any properties under contract or you need some analysis, by all means, bring it all to the next session on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank you guys for joining. I'll see you guys in the next time.